Karl Popper was an influential philosopher of science, known for his critical rationalism and his contributions to the philosophy of science. Here are some of his famous quotes and a brief explanation of their meaning. Science may be described as the art of systematic oversimplification. This quote reflects Popper's view that science aims to create simple, elegant explanations of complex phenomena. However, he also recognized that these explanations are always provisional and subject to revision in light of new evidence. All life is problem-solving. Popper believed that humans are constantly faced with problems to solve, whether in science, politics, or everyday life. He argued that the key to progress is not to avoid problems, but to confront them head-on and attempt to solve them through critical thinking and creativity. It is our knowledge, the things we're sure of, that makes the world go wrong and keeps us from seeing and learning. This quote reflects Popper's view that our certainty about our beliefs can prevent us from being open to new ideas and perspectives. He argued that it is important to remain critical and open-minded in order to continue learning and growing. The more we learn about the world, and the deeper our learning, the more conscious, specific, and articulate will be our knowledge of what we do not know, our knowledge of our ignorance. Popper believed that the pursuit of knowledge is a never-ending process, and that as we learn more about the world, we become more aware of how much we still do not know. He argued that this awareness of our ignorance is essential for maintaining an open and curious mindset. There is no such thing as a logical method of having new ideas or a logical reconstruction of this process. This quote reflects Popper's view that creativity and innovation are not simply a matter of following a set of rules or methods. He argued that the process of generating new ideas is complex and unpredictable, and cannot be reduced to a simple formula. The growth of knowledge depends entirely on disagreement. This quote reflects Popper's view that progress in science and other fields requires a diversity of perspectives and ideas. He argued that disagreements and criticism are essential for testing and refining theories, and that scientific progress depends on the willingness of researchers to challenge established ideas. The game of science is, in principle, without end. He who decides one day that scientific statements do not call for any further test, and that they can be regarded as finally verified, retires from the game. Popper believed that scientific knowledge is always tentative and subject to revision in light of new evidence. He argued that the pursuit of scientific knowledge is a never-ending process, and that scientists must always be willing to question their own beliefs and test their theories against new evidence. The most valuable thing we can do for the psyche, occasionally, is to let it rest, wander, live in the changing light of a room. This quote reflects Popper's view that creativity and insight can sometimes arise from taking a break from focused thinking and allowing the mind to wander. He argued that moments of leisure and reflection can be valuable for generating new ideas and perspectives. We may become the makers of our fate when we have ceased to pose as its prophets. This quote reflects Popper's view that it is impossible to predict the future with certainty. He argued that attempts to make precise predictions about the future are often misguided, and that it is better to focus on creating the conditions that will lead to a better future. It is not our business to set up prohibitions, but to arrive at conventions. Popper believed that progress in science and other fields depends on the development of shared conventions and standards of practice. He argued that these conventions emerge from a process of critical debate and experimentation, rather than from attempts to impose rigid rules or dogmatic beliefs.